Welcome, guys. Welcome to this very special series that we started here at Cricket Cult. So, as we promised you, both Ashwin and I, that during our Instagram live, that we will be doing something really, really special here on YouTube. We're going to do a SWOT analysis of all the 8 teams. Now, of 8 teams, there are 16 teams, but 8 teams according to us, which are more important. Now, why do we need to do this? We need to do this because in India, अश्विन जैसे आप जानते हो, हमने हमने देखा है कि we understand our squad really well, and then we are surprised by like how Cameron Green surprised everyone in the first T20. But had we paid, and that includes us and other media channels also, if we pay a little more attention to the other teams also, then we won't be as surprised. So,
Right.
Since we know that Cricket Cult followers are anyways very knowledgeable, and we've got this suggestion from them. So we are looking at all like most of the teams, the 8 teams according to us, which have a chance of winning this tournament. So
Right.
8 teams we're going to discuss, and which team are we discussing today?
Okay, today we are going to be starting with Australia, and the 8 teams that we are going to be discussing is Australia, New Zealand, the last year's 2 finalists and eventual champions, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, uh, West Indies, New Zealand, and South Africa.
So, the topic for today: the mighty Australians, the defending champions, and the host nation, and according to the books, the favorites, right?
Right.
And before Ashwin, you laugh at me. Yes, this is what we have to do. So I have to go to a Diwali party. I generally don't wear this at home, but I have to rush off. Um, anyways, Ashwin, since you've covered all 8 teams extensively, and our viewers can also check out a proper SWOT analysis on our website cricketcult.com. Why don't you take the stage and start?
So, Siddharth, first let's have a look at the squad in a depth manner. Aaron Finch is the captain. David Warner, Pat Cummins, Ashton Agar, Adam Zampa, Tim David, Glenn Maxwell, Matthew Wade, Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, Josh English, Mitchell Marsh, Kane Richardson, Steve Smith, and Marcus Stoinis. This is the Australian 15-man squad.
Any surprises for you? Any surprises for you straight off the bat? Because first 3 things that come to my mind is that what a balanced side. All rounders are plenty, but we'll get to that when we discuss the SWOT. But let's talk about the omission. So Cameron Green is an interesting one for me. He's not been included, and someone like a Josh English has been backed over him. Any other? Personally, Nathan Ellis. I would prefer Nathan Ellis over Kane Richardson. But apart from that, I don't think any more surprises.
I don't think I'm surprised with the squad because Cameron Green, just like Sanju Samson for India, has made a late push and a late dash to the Australian setup. And the fact that he's inexperienced and one doesn't know how he would cope up in such a huge tournament, maybe they did not want to push him into the deep end at this point of time. So that's my understanding.
Firstly, before we get to the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, threats, do you also see Australia as the clear favorites, slight favorites, or you see someone else as the favorites?
I think they're slight favorites. They're not clear favorites. I think for the first time, the tournament is evenly panned out and mapped out, and there are no clear favorites this time. Like last year, we had India as a clear favorite, but Australia, no one gave Australia a chance. They came out of nowhere to win the title, actually.
Yeah, but with familiar conditions, I would still call them as favorites and not joint favorites. So, but I agree with you. They're just slight favorites, and this is probably the most open T20 World Cup that we've had like in a while. So straight off the bat, Ashwin, let's discuss the strength first. Do you want to go?
I think I'll let you go first.
So the strengths are very obvious. It's a very, very, very well balanced team. So the 4 ingredients that you need in a very successful T20 team. One is a balanced team with proper all rounders, and I think they have 3 or 4 of them. So you have a Stoinis You have a Maxwell, you have a Mitchell Marsh, and like Tim David can roll his arm over, and they can all proper like they're proper hitters. Power hitting, that is another thing. I think like if you leave out Steve Smith and Aaron Finch, I think that every batsman of theirs is a power hitter. Then you need strong fast bowling, and with Hazelwood, Cummins, and Stark, I think it's a varied attack. Hazelwood obviously is the number one ranked T20 bowler in the world currently. His T20 game has come up leaps and bounds in the last
Right.
3 or 4 years. And you need a very good wrist spinner or a spinner, which I think Zampa has proved for the last so many years. He goes under the radar, but so he ticks they tick all those boxes. So to me, those are the strengths.
So let me shed some light on the weakness. I think the obvious weakness is the lack of form and continued lack of form of their captain Aaron Finch. I know he scored a few half century, one half century, but that was batting at number 4 in the recent game against West Indies. He moved up a notch at I think number 3. He failed in the games against England. He's not been amongst the runs. And another glaring weakness is the lack of support for Adam Zampa as a second spinner. So मेरे हिसाब से you will not have Ashton Agar and Adam Zampa play together. Australia will not do that.
No, definitely not. And that's why I agree with Aaron Finch as the weakness, because your leader cannot be out of form, and he's like everyone knows he's in the team only because he's the captain and the defending world champion. Uh, so straight off the bat, that is not a very good sign, and yes, that is a weakness. The other weakness I feel is Steve Smith. So there are he might not even find a place in the 11. But I feel that with such a big player of such a magnitude, you either don't take him in the 15 or you jot him in the 11. Otherwise, वो जो हम कहते हैं ना माहौल, टीम का एक माहौल, इतने बड़े प्लेयर को आप एक विराट कोहली को 15 में ले के बाहर नहीं बिठा सकते. तो स्टीव स्मिथ का भी स्टेचर वैसा ही है. तो अगर वो खेलते हैं तो वो और फिंच इकट्ठे नहीं खेल सकते, और अगर नहीं खेलते हैं क्योंकि फिंच कैप्टन है, then again it's a big player ego, and that could be an issue for them. But apart from that, so what are the opportunities for this team? What are the leading lights where the X factor for this team?
I think the biggest opportunity is one man for one man only. I think that tournament is going to be playing out, and it's going to be on a worldwide stage where his talents will be visible, and that is Mr. Tim David. He's been phenomenal with the bat in the recent series against both West Indies and England. He's literally carving out a niche for himself as a late order finishing power hitter. So that is a huge opportunity for them. And I'll be very honest here, Tim David, everyone expected him to make this jump from Singapore cricket to Australian cricket. But no one expected him to own the international stage like he has already. नॉर्मली क्या हो जाता है कि कोई अगर मान लो दूसरा टीम के लिए खेलते हैं, लाइक इफ यू गो बैक टू 2009, डर्क नैनस played for Netherlands, then he made his way to Australia. He struggled when he played for Australia. He did not have the best of times. So I think this is the opportunity for Tim David to own the stage, the world stage as we know it. Do you agree, or do you have any other thing in mind?
No, definitely that is a big opportunity. And the other thing I'd like to say, one experienced player in Glenn Maxwell, because I know he recently has not been in the best of forms, but finally he looks so secure. His bowling is needed. He's a damn good fielder. So you can see players like Maxwell, they need security. That's what RCB gave him, and that can be a threat for the opposition, because Maxwell has cemented his place. There are no questions about his place. Otherwise, even in Australia, it was always about either you love Maxwell or you hate Maxwell. But now I think everyone recognized that there is method to this madness. Yes, he's a maverick, and he's also a leader in the group because he leads his franchise in the Big Bash League. He was an ex roommate with Aaron Finch. Both of them are Victorians. They understand each other like the back of their hand. So that also helps. He's part of the leadership group. Um, coming to the threats, I feel the threat is that I alluded to that in the omission. So Kane Richardson, even if you followed the Australia England series, he's not been bowling like in the first ODI. He didn't look great, and I feel there are fast bowlers who are better than him, even apart from these top three. And even if one of them were to get injured, then I think it will be a huge come down from a Stark Hazelwood Cummins to a Kane Richardson. I would have probably preferred Sean Abbott or as I said, Nathan
Andrew
Ennis.
Ty?
No, Anuta again. Though if in Australian conditions, um, these are not UAE conditions where like your that's why Harshal might struggle because ball bat पे आता है, it comes onto the bat and it's easier to just wait on your back foot and tong the slower one. It doesn't stick into the surface unless and until you're playing in somewhere like a Geelong where the main matches won't happen. Yes, there will be a couple of matches in these offshoot stadiums, but mostly big teams, big players won't be playing in those stadiums. It'll be a Gabba, it'll be a MCG, SCG, Adelaide, you know, or the Optus Stadium in Perth. So I think that is a huge threat for them. And the other one again, as you said, um, if anything were to happen, but see, that is a threat to anyone. Injury can be a threat to anyone. So that it's just we have to look out for threats because they have all their bases covered.
Right.
Don't you agree?
I think I agree with that, but also I have another point, and it is not nothing to do with the players. I think the threat for them will be the Australian crowds because they'll be playing at home. And यार ये actually if you see many people will ask me कि 50 ओवर के वर्ल्ड कप भी अगर आप देखोगे लास्ट तीन टीम जो जीती है वो होम कंडीशंस पे जीती है, बट आपको एक चीज समझना होता है कि 20 ओवर की जो गेम रहती है ना उसमें प्रेशर और स्क्रूटनी इंटेंस होती है जो 50 ओवर क्रिकेट में नहीं होती. 50 ओवर क्रिकेट में यू कैन पेस योर इनिंग्स एंड आराम से आप खेल सकते हो अपने टाइम निकल के, बट यहाँ पे ऑस्ट्रेलियन क्राउड्स आर ब्लड थर्स्टी. सो वन मिस्टेक,
Basically you're saying the pressure of expectations playing
the
at home,
pressure of
right?
expectations and the pressure of the vocal crowd. The Australian crowd is a different animal than any
So
other crowd in the world.
in fact, if had it been any other team apart from Australia, right, I would have totally agreed with you. But having spent a part of my life in Melbourne, like been there for 4 years, and you alluded to the 2015 World Cup, that is a threat for the opposition because Australian crowds, they basically come what may, they'll back their team, and that doesn't stop with the crowd. So that will be with the media personnel also. That will be with ex players also. You'll start. So even if you look at big ticket, big pressure things in Australia, so look at the Ashes. What has happened in the Ashes in Australia recently, or the last World Cup that happened in Australia. I do get your point. Like I think it can. I'd probably say the pressure of being favorite. That can
The
be a
pressure
threat
of being
more than
favorites,
the
and जहाँ
because
तक
Aussies revel in. I'm telling you, they revel when their crowd is backing them. There is proper temperature during the game. That much like Virat Kohli, that takes their game to another level. So
right.
that I might disagree with you there, but I definitely feel that they needed a proper fourth fast bowler in the team because you can't expect everything to be perfect and just these three pacers to play for the entirety of the tournament. Something somewhere might happen, and then that will just throw them into a tizzy.
Right. So do you have a likely 11 for Australia going into their first game?
Yeah, I think that has been made very clear. So they're likely they're going to be opening with Aaron Finch and David Warner. One down going to be Mitchell Marsh. Two down is going to be someone between a Stoinis or a Maxwell, and same for three down. Four down is going to be Tim David. Five down Matthew Wade. Six down Pat Cummins. Seven down Mitchell Stark. Eight down Zampa, 9 down, Hazelwood.
No Steve Smith, right?
Yeah, no. So I think they've made it really clear. The only problem was, I think, with Stoinis. Stoinis being out injured, but the way he's batted the first couple of T20s against England, I think that there's no doubt that they. And plus, he gives you an option with with the ball, and with Australia playing just four proper frontline bowlers with the three paces and Zampa, they will need as many all rounders as they can. So I can't see how Steve Smith fits in with Finch being in the 11.
Right. My 11 is pretty much the same actually. Not many changes.
Yeah, because they've made it really clear. Now they've made it. They're one team which has made it really clear that who they're going to back.
Right.
So yeah, but so that was Australia, guys. And tomorrow we'll have another team. And stay tuned. Please subscribe to our channel. Press that bell icon. And if you like our work, then please give us your love and spread the word. Thank you, Ashwin.